Let's start with Marek Houston. We're a couple of days down the road now. What are your thoughts on this pick? Like it or not so much? What do you think?
So, I mean, if you watch the stream, you knew right away I wasn't a huge fan. And that is partially because when we talked throughout the whole process about the shortstop demographic, not necessarily the high school or the pro, like there was just so many high upside shortstops that Marek Houston wasn't near the top of them, right? So mostly preps, had a lot of guys that we like prep wise. I like Pierce. You didn't love Pierce. We all kind of had our favorites, and Marek Houston just wasn't that. Um, but I was asked afterwards, like, well, what's a good comp for him? Is Noah Miller a good comp? And I'm like, no, it's not a good comp because Noah Miller can't hit at all, and Marek Houston can hit. And obviously, Noah Miller's a stud shortstop, defensive wizard. Marek Houston's going to be there, right? So, um, as a floor with lesser of a glove, sure, Noah Miller's fine. But I'm like, if Miller, or excuse me, if Houston can't hit well enough to be an everyday shortstop, like he's going to be a good enough fielder with enough other skills that he could play second. He probably has the arm to play third. He has the legs and arm to play center, right? He could be a utility guy if he needed to be. And it's like, well, then is Castro a good comp? It's like somewhere in the range of outcomes, fine. Willie Castro is a comp. But I think Marek Houston put on weight, put on strength, hit more home runs, still walks a ton, or at least enough to like offset the strikeouts. He walks more
He
than
walks a lot. Yep.
So like there's still upside there where I think and it's like you hate comparisons and I get why, right? Because to say, he has pull power. Well, then it's like when you talk about a middle infielder that comes in as a non-power hitter that all of a sudden has pull power, who's the name that gets thrown out?
I don't know.
Right? Brian Dozier, and then he has 40 home runs. And so it's like these things aren't fair, right? But Brian Dozier was a light hitting middle infielder, played shortstop at Southern Miss, I think has moved to second base. So there's Noah Miller, there's Willie Castro, there's Brian Dozier. Like,
how about Dansby Swanson minus a full grade of power?
And that's the other name. And I'm like, so Dansby Swanson is a name with less power. And then I'm like, well, if you take the 80 grade or 70 grade speed and knock it down to 55, which is a significant step, right? Don't get me wrong. But like, is there Trey Turner in there? And it's like, so now you have all of these names, right? And it's like the reality is the Twins at pick 16 took a guy who could very well be an everyday major league shortstop and maybe not hit first or third or fourth or fifth, but potentially could hit second.
Yep.
Right. And at the very worst could at least be like a catalyst for the end of the lineup when it turns around. And so I think there's certainly upside there. Did I love the pick at the time? I didn't. Would I have preferred other names? Absolutely. But I didn't love the Kalen Culper pick. And I was certainly wrong about that.
Yeah.
And so I do think that given how the rest of night one played out, and then given how day two played out, that when we see how this bonus pool all comes together, I think we're just going to overall grade this draft highly.
Yep.
As Marek Houston, a very important part of it.
Yeah, fair.